We are all victims, more or less, of suggestion. Strong-minded and unscrupulous people deliberately influence others by suggestion in order to take advantage of them. Counsel in court says to a witness, "I suggest to you," and then follows a suggestion that may be both untrue and unfair, yet it may so overwhelm or confuse a witness as to destroy the value of his evidence. Thus does a strong mind dominate a weaker by force of will or suggestion. In 1,001 different ways we are affected by suggestion. We receive it through the eyes, the ears, taste, smell, and touch. Then there is what is termed mass suggestion. We are all inclined to think the same thoughts as the mob, and to have the same emotions aroused within us as sway the masses of the people. It is very easy for a positive person to sway the thoughts and emotions of a crowd of people. It is difficult for one of the crowd not to be moved with the crowd. That is the reason why people who are peaceable in private life may, when in a crowd, join in acts of violence and disorder. It is simply that the mass emotion gets hold of them, influencing them so strongly that they get carried away. It is a fact that some people are more easily influenced by suggestion than others. Some are stolid and phlegmatic, and upon these suggestion appears to have less effect. Others, on the contrary, are more sensitive and highly strung. These are greatly influenced by suggestion, falling an easy prey until they learn to become proof against it. Such may feel that they are hard done by, and that life has dealt unfairly with them by making them so sensitive. But they need not pity themselves for the reason that they have instead much to be thankful for people of this type are those who can benefit most by suggestion when it is properly and scientifically made use of. Why is right thought so important? It is important because it influences our actions. It is important because it builds up character and a steadfast mind. It is important because upon it our well-being and the success of our whole life depend. It is important because it is by right thought that we can overcome harmful suggestion. First of all, we have to realize that thought is the cause of our actions and decisions. It is largely because of this that our circumstances depend upon our thoughts. If, for instance, we do not overcome life's difficulties in our thoughts, then we can never overcome them in actual experience. By this I mean, our difficulties must be boldly met and conquered in thought, if ever we are to hope to overcome them actually. By worrying over our troubles, we not only stimulate fear, one of the most destructive of the emotions, but we can also wear grooves in the brain, round which our thoughts revolve in endless repetition. The brain becomes so constructed or arranged through the practice of worrying that worry becomes a habit. That is to say, as soon as a thought of some impending trouble comes to us, or something goes wrong in our life or work, or we think that something has gone wrong or will go wrong, or we fear that it may go wrong, then immediately the cells used by worry are stimulated into action, being already fully charged with nervous energy, waiting to explode, and round the thoughts go along the groove prepared for them. Then goodbye to our peace of mind, goodbye to sleep, and in time, goodbye to health. The teaching that bids you merely to dismiss your trouble from your mind and think of pleasant things, or to indulge in daydreaming, can be positively followed, but is usually applied, it is quite negative. When applied in a negative way, it weakens the will, robs one of initiative, and destroys one's power to decide and act. Instead of avoiding the issue, whenever the thought of the impending trouble or difficulty rises into consciousness, we should meet it boldly, affirming our ability to overcome it and be victorious. every time the thought arises, it is met with an affirmation of power, overcoming and victory, then when the time arrives to meet the difficulty in actual experience, we find that we have ample power to overcome and go victoriously through the experience. We find ourselves steadfast in mind and possessed of a reserve of power that surprises us. Meeting thoughts of failure, difficulty or fear in this way has an effect upon the subconscious mind. It receives a definite lead and realizes what is expected of it. Being a faithful servant, it does not fail us. These affirmations may be of various kinds and must of necessity vary according to the type of person using them. Some people think in the form of mental pictures. The nature of their life and the character of their circumstances depend upon the character of their mental pictures. If they are those of trouble, failure, etc., they should be reversed into their positive opposite. Some people are naturally given to negative mental picturing, but if mental pictures of failure, poverty, disaster, accident, disease and death are transmuted into pictures of success, prosperity, health, protection from danger and a happy old age, then these desirable states tend to manifest in the life in place of the undesirable ones which might have appeared otherwise. As mental picturing is probably the most powerful form of thinking, too much importance can hardly be paid to its right cultivation. The effect of such cultivation is to bring about a state of positive mindedness, a most desirable condition. It also builds up character, making us strong where once we were weak and able to achieve many things.